What's happening? It says live recording, but it's not giving me any numbers. Oh, there it is. Okay. I just couldn't find it.
Should we start over?
No, we're live on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
But it's like not uploading very fast.
Mine's uploading.
Yeah, I'm okay.
Anyways, welcome to Spit Take. My name's Rick, and with me I have Adam
Hello.
and Steph.
Hello.
So before we got on, we started talking about Silicon Valley. Steph just jumped on board after like 10 years. I forgot all about the show. And while they were talking about Dinesh, but I was like thinking about the big fall off of TJ Miller. Like TJ
Yeah.
Miller was like huge for a little bit. Like he was the funniest person in the world, and then he slowly went down. And then like him and Ryan Reynolds had a falling out from Deadpool. So he was in Deadpool 1 and 2, but then he wasn't in Deadpool 3, and he talked a lot of shit about Ryan Reynolds and about him not being in it. So I was kind of like looking what happened to him.
Yeah. Well, didn't he get accused of sexual harassment? He was part of the Me Too movement.
Uh,
Like, got accused of
I
it.
don't know.
I
I'm
don't know
pretty sure he
either.
did. I remember seeing something about that. Like TJ Miller got accused of something.
He's
I don't
still
think it
doing
was.
condom. He's still doing stand up. It looks like he's on tour.
Yeah. Um, TJ Miller contract. I'm looking it up right now. Legal issues in 2016. Arrested and jailed in Los Angeles, allegedly assaulting an Uber driver. Well, that's
Yeah,
not.
Patrick Kane did that too,
Yeah.
but that was a
So,
taxi driver in Buffalo. It's pretty normal in Buffalo.
well, and TJ Miller is pretty funny. He's one of the comedians when I wanted, when I have a long drive and I want to listen to a comedian, I'll play some of his stuff. He's so funny.
Well, that's what I was saying. He was like for a little bit, he was the funniest guy. Now like Shane Gillis is the guy, but
Yeah.
but he was like the Shane Gillis of like I don't know the late 2010s,
Yeah.
and now like you don't hear about him. But I guess Dane Cook was like mid 2000s, so
Right.
I guess they kind of go up and down, you know.
Yeah. Well, and I love TJ Miller's stuff. He's so funny. Shane Gillis is really great right now too. There's a lot of good. We watch a lot of stand up comedy. Like,
Yeah, I actually finally started liking Ari Sharif, who I didn't
yeah,
like before.
I like
I
him.
thought he was an obnoxious prick, but then kind of hearing him like actually talk a little bit like about his beliefs and stuff like that, I'm like, okay, I got a little respect for you. I'll kind of listen. Uh, and he does say some funny things, but he's not like as funny as a lot of comedians. But like, he can keep me entertained for 10 minutes.
Yeah, there's like some really good ones out there. Like Nick Swardson when he does comedy, he's really funny. Um,
Oh, he went off the what was it last year? He was like so drunk during a show,
oh, was
uh, and he like it wasn't even funny. It was sad because he goes, "Hey guys, wait, wait," and he kept saying it, and then people just started booing him because he was so drunk.
Mm.
I guess he forgot out what he was gonna say. It was like, and it was a big show. Like if I was there, I'd be like, I paid money for this.
Wait,
Who's-
was it is Shane Gillis? He's got that show.
He is the tires. I texted you
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah, yeah.
It's freaking
Yeah, it's
hilarious
great.
because it's got the type of humor that probably you'd see in the 90s and early 2000s,
Hmm.
yeah,
that probably people are starting to not get canceled for anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely like it's like rewatching those 90s shows like Waiting and like um what's that other one? Van Wilder. We are like, "Oh, you would not get away with that now."
Right. Yeah. And I like the one part where he's like, they're coming, was it somebody was coming to inspect or whatever, and he had the car wash, women in car wash,
Yeah.
and he's trying to get them in the Connex.
Yep, yep,
And then like the police came and they're like, "We heard there's somebody trying to smuggle some women in the Connex." He goes, "I don't know, man. That's crazy."
yep.
Yeah, God, I always love Nick Swardson though. I mean, like I know he's kind of off the wall. I do appreciate when I see him in some Adam Sandler movies still, and apparently he's still doing Reno 911 episodes as Terry.
Oh, he was the best part of Reno 911.
He was. I love the fact that he made it to the movie too. Flew all the way down to Miami. He was so good. You remember watching that? So he did that. I think it was just a YouTube short or something where he did a life in the day of Nick Swardson.
Yeah, he's like
Starts off.
he like
He's like
does a bunch.
he just starts off. He's like brushing his teeth. He wakes up like he's having a regular day, and then he's just in front of a giant pile of cocaine and just buries his face in
He's
it.
eating his breakfast and getting his bacon and the cocaine. And then like his friend comes over. He goes like, "You're the cops, man?" No, I'm your friend. And he's like, "Oh, cool. Come on in." And then they're sitting there. He goes, "I can run really fast, man. You don't even believe I can run fast."
And at the very end, he sees
He's like, "I know. I seen you run before." Like the guy's like totally normal.
Then
He's just
like,
reassuring him, like, "Yeah, I've seen you run. Yeah."
at the very end of it, he's like, "Hey man, can I suck your dick for money? I'm not gay, so it's cool."
Yeah. Oh, classic.
Oh, okay. So, on that note, what else are we talking about today?
No, this ain't made for kids YouTube. And you're talking about first of all, Amanda Crew is in it. She's kind of a low-key good actress. The only reason I say that is because she was in the movie Sex Drive, which is a cinematic wonder.
It's a fantastic movie.
Wait, I'm looking her up. I don't recognize that name.
But she was in that movie I texted you guys about yesterday, Freaks, that I do want you to check out. It's a wild movie, and she's in that. And I was like, I know her. But Sex Drive did not get enough credit. I'm sorry. But I was also in Afghanistan when it came out.
It was a funny movie. I really liked that movie. And
Which one was that?
That's the one where they go on Rumspringer.
Oh, I love that movie.
Yeah.
It's so dirty. You got to watch like the unrated extended edition. Like that's just the best. Because they have bloopers like in the movie.
I have to watch that again. Because I watched that. That was one of those movies. It was towards the end of Afghanistan when we started watching it, and we watched it like every day. Like that's what I miss about the military. It's just sitting around watching the same movie over and over and over again. And it was funnier when you had a bunch of guys with your same sense of humor.
Yeah, that's where I saw Miss March.
Miss March, yeah.
That was a good one because that came out right around then.
And you know what's funny about him? You know 30 Days Whiskey.
Yeah.
So the guy who did the McDonald's, was it 30 Days? I forget. And he like was puking his lungs out and stuff like that after eating like McGriddles and shit.
Yeah.
Well, apparently he was a raging alcoholic.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he died of alcoholism. He died of liver damage. So it wasn't the McDonald's that did that to him. It was his alcohol. And Trevor,
yeah.
I think he knew it. He kind of like, I think that's why he's Bang Bang, because he knows stuff.
Yeah.
About Diddy and stuff. And it's funny because he did the 30 Days Whiskey.
Yeah.
And I think he was actually making fun of what was really going on now that, you look at it.
Well, and Trevor Moore was so talented because you watch, like, he was one of the head writers for The Whitest Kids You Know. He wrote a bunch of other stuff, and he was just so funny with his delivery. Like, everything he said was funny and off the wall, and, like, he played the wildest characters. And and, like, that's something that, The Whitest Kids You Know is something you can watch anytime. Just pull it up on YouTube, and it's always funny. It's always comedy gold.
The YouTube show before the actual show was better.
Was it?
Yeah. I was watching on YouTube before it was on Fuse. It was on YouTube for like 10 years before it was on Fuse.
Was it?
Yeah. Probably not that long. Because you ever hear first rap song about dinosaurs and they're getting high rapping about dinosaurs. Like that was a YouTube one that was on before, but also the Scotty, whose parents are dead.
Yeah.
That was a remake on the show. They actually did it on YouTube. Hey kid, where's your parents? Dead. What are you doing? Hammering a wall? Where's your parents? They're dead.
And then my favorite part is the bit at the very end of it where he shows up as kind of like a, the more you know type of thing. And he's like, I know some of you were very concerned about like, how much danger I was in and everything. But in reality, the black guy was not even filmed on the same set as me. We were filmed in 2 separate sets and we were brought together using computer animation. Isn't science great?
Yeah, that was added on in the show. That wasn't in the original.
That was a good one.
He goes and buys a 40 and he's putting chocolate syrup in.
Yeah. It was such a wild show. Oh, I sent one of those videos, one of the clips to the siblings. It was the Motorcycle Mamas one. It was stuck in my head for days, just him going like, yeah, then we're going to go to the pool hall, maybe hustle some pool. Ain't that right, mama? That's right, daddy.
I think I watched like 2 seconds of it, and I was like, I don't have the capacity for this.
It's so funny.
Oh, it's so good.
The end of it is just the best. Trevor Moore comes in, and it's like, because it's 2 kids just playing like a game. And his dad's so disappointed. He's like, I told you this would happen. He starts clicking his heels together and being like, I don't believe in you. I don't believe in you. And then the kid disappears. It was so funny. Their humor is so good. But Steph, you're probably like, who is the whitest kids? They're all, who they are?
Yeah, you've made me watch their stuff before.
100% I have. The Abraham Lincoln one?
Yes. I think
Turn
that
around,
might be
say it again.
Yep, that one.
Piece of lard looking motherfucker.
Oh my god. You just reminded me of something now. I can't remember.
Steph wants to talk about Saltburn, and my question is, what's with you and crazy sex shows?
They just find me.
You're always like, you gotta watch this show, you gotta watch this movie, and then it's just like weird sex going on the whole time. Like,
okay, so I knowingly sent you into that void, because of our previous podcast where it was like, yeah, the weird sex stuff. And then I watched this movie and I was like, oh, I got to get Rick to watch this because it's just going to throw him over the edge here. And he's going to think I'm crazy. But
it was crazy.
But it was also like disturbingly good. You have to admit.
No, I didn't think it was bad, but like it would be something where I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like,
yeah.
After a while, I was just like, if I wasn't watching it for Steph, I'd just stop watching this. Especially the part with the grave. That's when I'm just like, all right, this is too much.
That was all improvised.
No, the bathtub part happened way before that.
Bathtub part.
Where he's licking
where he's like licking it. Yeah.
Yeah.
What the grave part was improvised. He just started fucking the grave.
Well, I look up the Wikipedia and it says he was masturbating on the page. I'm like, that's not what happened. He's actually putting his dick in the grave.
Yeah, he 100% was.
He's like banging the grave.
But to me, that wasn't even the most disturbing part. It was the part where he is, I don't even want to say it, where he's with the sister.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that to me was more disturbing than anything. And Adam, you have no idea what we're talking about, do you?
Nope, I have not seen it.
It's disturbing, but the storyline is interesting. And like,
well, I kind of understood what was gonna happen. I kind of knew where it was going.
Yeah.
But I think they had the ending in mind while having him doing all this crazy shit to throw you off, to think that he is crazy. He is a psychopath, but they did all that weird shit to make you think something else, Right.
And I had a feeling like it was going to end the way that it did. I kind of picked it up after I mean, everybody should have seen Saltburn right now. Can I just spoil things? Do we care?
Ask
No.
Adam if he cares.
I don't care.
So like after the son dies, I was like, at first I was like, who killed him? What happened? And then I was like, huh. And then I started to piece it all together, and I was like, oh, okay, well this guy's just fucking insane. But that actor is really good. I mean, he played the part very well, and he, like, just I hated him the entire time. I thought he was a big pussy, um, but that's what you were supposed to feel. And then he made out with all the money. But I did want to ask you, do you think that he was banging the mom too?
I didn't think that. I didn't think that. I think she just like. I think his whole ploy was the mom, and
Mm,
to become like have her dependent on him. I
okay.
didn't feel like it was like sexual. I
Yeah.
felt it was more motherly, friend, like best friendish kind of thing. Like,
Hmm.
oh, you're always there for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I that was the only thing that I was kind of like, I don't understand this part of it. But that movie for like a week or two after just lived rent free in my head.
Yeah. I mean, it was definitely a crazy movie. Um, I definitely recommend watching it, watch it away all the way through. I felt like I knew where it was going,
Hmm.
but it was I don't know, because at first too, I guess they played it off pretty well because it was like, oh man, I'm in this whole new world. No, what really got me was the part where he took him to meet his parents.
Yes.
That's what really got me. That's
Yeah.
the only thing uh, that took me a while to understand because I'm sitting there thinking, wait, maybe she's really a drug addict and she's just putting on a
Hmm.
ploy or she's in
Hmm.
recovery or something like that. And I'm like, oh no, these are normal people.
Yeah.
This is
They're
wild. And
they're
like,
lovely people.
then I'm like, oh shit, he completely lied about everything, you
Hmm.
know? And I really kind of felt, I don't know why my throat's so sore. I really kind of felt like he did come, like it kind of seemed like the way he was perceiving himself or the
Hmm.
perception you were getting of him, like he was just this awkward kid that grew up in this screwed up household. That's the way he kind of acted and did a good job of acting that. That I will give him that. He did a good job of really manipulating you into
Right.
believing he's
Right.
just like has a lot of trauma. And
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe he does, it, but the way it was perceived afterwards is like, no, this guy don't have trauma. He's just a manipulative piece of shit.
He's a narcissist.
But then it's like, okay, hold on a second, because he's trying to like talk to him, and it's like, okay, maybe there was something going on to where he just wanted that attention, and he didn't belong at what is it, Oxford? He didn't belong there, so he was like trying to put on this pity party to like
Hmm.
try to get some special attention,
Yeah. Yeah.
but
He just
I
wanted to
think it
be.
went far beyond that, to tell you the truth.
Yeah. It's like he was like single white femaling this guy almost.
So now that I'm thinking about it, I think the movie is more complicated than what I gave it credit for. Now that I'm kind of talking about it, the movie is more complicated than I gave it credit for because I even forgot about that part with the parents.
Yeah.
I think that was the big part for me, where it's like, okay, what I think is going on is not going on.
Yeah. Yeah. There were definitely a lot of elements to the movie that like it just kept getting crazier and crazier and crazier. And you're like, because you think you have it figured out. But yeah, you're right. The parents part, I was like, hold on, hold on. Frank and June over here seem like lovely people. Or what do you call them, Adam? The
Frank and
parents?
Marie.
Frank and Marie. Yep.
Well, my thing is like I've worked in like a methadone clinic. I've seen all types of people go in there. I've seen, the ghetto person or uh the uh like the trailer trash or whatever you want, like the way people see drug addicts,
Yeah.
you know. But then I've seen like the what you would seem to be what looks like a homemaker or a a motherly looking figure go in there too,
Right. You never know.
and a lot of you know addiction started because of doctors and overprescribing of medication. That's a real thing. There's a good Netflix documentary on it, which I'm probably going to cancel soon because they're upping it again. They think they're worth more to me than what they
Really?
really are. Yeah, they're the lowest is going to be like $18 now.
Didn't it used to be like $10?
Well, it was started out like 6,
Yeah.
and then it kept climbing 8, then 10, then 11, and then they added commercials and brought it down to 7.
Mm.
But they think that now that they have WWE Raw on there, I
Mhm.
think they think that people are going to pay $18 a month to watch Raw.
I mean, there probably are people that are going to do that. I'm not one of them,
There
but
are, but you got to watch Netflix for Raw, TV for SmackDown and NXT, and then you got to go watch Peacock for the pay-per-views or the
Mm.
streaming events.
Hmm.
So you got to have pay for 3 different services to watch it all. It's wild.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It doesn't seem like a good business plan to me, but you know what? They're about too big to fail, like the NFL, who a lot of people are very much complaining about right now.
Ooh, don't get me started on them. So angry. This is going to be another boring Super Bowl.
I don't
And
think it's going to be boring. I think it's the 2 best teams, but uh, there was some definite calls that the Chiefs got.
yeah, I mean, the Chiefs were queued up for the entire season to get to this point. Let's be
I
real
do
here.
think the 2 best teams got there. It's just that game, that Buffalo Chiefs game, was uh,
No.
not good to watch if they want to act like they weren't favoring Mahomes.
Right, right. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just wanted to see somebody else, anybody else.
I think everybody does, and there's a lot of people saying they're going to boycott, and I'm like, it won't matter.
No.
Super
Well,
Bowl, it won't matter, and people are going to tune in to watch the halftime show. People are
yeah.
watching for the commercials. People are watching not just for the Super Bowl. It's too big to fail. It's worldwide now.
Oh.
People
Except
all
that
over the world are watching it.
all the trailers that I want to see during the Super Bowl, they're like 15-second trailers, and then they're like, go to our website and watch it. And I'm like, well, fuck, I could have just done that from home.
And did you know? I didn't know this. Josh Allen and Haley Steinfeld are dating.
No, I
No.
did not know that.
Well, I was just looking at this tweet. Haley is proud of Josh Allen and believes he is the hardest working person.
I mean, he is really good.
Yeah, he's very good for never making the Super Bowl and having no MVPs. He's great.
I don't know.
Hey,
I think he's a
whatever.
beast. He's doing better
Yeah,
than
but-
I am, okay? What I am losing my train of thought. You guys, I've been up since like fucking 4:45 this morning.
What do you got going on, Adam? You haven't talked for a while.
Yeah. Actually, I want to talk about Saturday Night Live. Because I've seen 2 different Saturday Night Live things now this past weekend. I saw the new Saturday Night movie, which was fantastic. It was about the first episode of Saturday Night Live, done in real time. It's 90 minutes, like leading up to the show's premiere. Really cool stuff. And the actors that they got to play did fantastic job of playing the Chevy Chase and Dan Aykroyd and all the other ones. And I want to say these actors are fairly unknown because I don't know them from anything. They've been working for a while, but like I haven't seen them in much except for Lamont Morris, who was in New Girl, and he played Garrett Morris in the movie. But it was a fun movie to watch, and it was interesting because I was reading about it. A lot of what happens in the movie, pretty much everything that happens in the movie was taken from firsthand accounts of like the writers who were there and Lorne Michaels and like just talking about how it played out. And it's just like wild chaos until the show actually premieres. It was really, really good. So I highly recommend that one. It just came out on Netflix. So I saw that, and then I
It's
also
on Netflix?
yeah, it's
The
on
movie?
Netflix. Yeah,
Oh, I didn't see it. I'll have to watch it.
it was very good. I liked it. The guy who plays Chevy Chase did a great job and like really captured his unbelievable dickishness that is Chevy Chase.
Ooh.
Yeah, the guy who yeah, yeah, the guy who played Dan Aykroyd did a spot on impression of him. Very, very good. God, Gilda, the person who played Gilda Radner, did also. Everybody was like on point with their characters. Like it was very well done, and it's a Jason Reitman movie, which I didn't know going into it. If I had known, I would have been like even more excited because I love Jason Reitman movies.
Wait, it's a movie?
Yeah, it's a movie. It's called
What's it called?
It's called Saturday Night. But
Oh, oh,
it's got
okay.
Willem Dafoe in it, and because it's a Jason Reitman movie, J.K. Simmons is in it for a little bit, and he's apparently got a huge dick. Yeah.
Sign me
So
up. Just kidding.
yeah. But it
I
has
just
a
watched
lot of
J.K.
like
Simmons' show.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh, that reminds me. That's another show I got to bring up. Sorry.
So that the movie was great. I highly recommend it, and it just came out. It was in theaters back in November, I think.
Yeah, it's been out for a couple months, but yeah, I do want to see it.
Check it out, and I'd highly recommend watching. So I watched the 4-part docuseries on SNL that was on Peacock that came out I think a couple weeks ago, and that was really good because it was just a little bit of like behind the scenes stuff about the production of it. Like I think the first episode was about how they cast the actors. The second episode was just about the cowbell sketch. It was purely about the cowbell sketch because of how iconic it was. Very interesting. The third one's about the writers, and the fourth one was about I don't remember, but it was all good. It all ties together very well, and just kind of goes through the whole production process of every episode. And it's amazing what they pull together in just a week. Like, you know, how some of the things work. Like they'll table certain sketches and they'll use them in other weeks and stuff. Apparently, that's how the cowbell one happened. Was they wrote it and then it sat in a desk for a couple months, and then they brought it out when Christopher Walken came on the show and decided it was the right fit.
Yeah, and he apparently that's like when he goes out or something like that, or like I was seeing a
Will Ferrell.
Will Ferrell interview where he's talking about uh he'll go to a restaurant and then like they're like, you want anything else? Maybe more cowbell? And like Christopher Walken's like, I can't go anywhere. Like, you know, but he actually thinks it's funny though, but he
Yeah.
said Will Ferrell ruined his life.
Yeah. Will Ferrell, it's funny when they're interviewing him about the whole sketch and everything, and he sits there and tells he tells that story. He's like, yeah, he's like, I saw Christopher Walken. He walks up to me and goes, you ruined my life. And Will
Yeah.
Ferrell's just sitting there like, I don't care. Like, that was my big break. Like,
Yeah.
he wrote one of the best SNL sketches of all time. Apparently that was Jimmy Fallon's first sketch on SNL, which I didn't know.
Oh.
That makes sense. He was laughing the entire time.
Well, he always does that. He became known as that guy.
I mean, I watched Saturday Night Live for a long time. Remember the Jim Belushi samurai sandwich
Yeah.
maker?
The John Belushi.
There were
Yeah.
so many classic back in the 80s and the 90s. Like it kind of dipped up and down, but
Yeah.
it had like a star-studded cast in the end.
Yeah.
And then like it's been pretty bad for the last like I don't know 15 years, something like that. But like the last year or two, it's been funny again. I don't know if you've seen that. The big one is Nate Bargatze's George Washington, where it's like they're getting ready to go battle the English, and he's like telling everybody like what America's gonna be like. Like he's like, hamburgers will not be made of ham, and he's like, it'll be made of beef. And he goes, oh well, what will be in hot dogs? I don't know.
I
Nobody
think I
does.
saw that one. They
That
have
one. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say they have some winners here and there that are just like outrageously funny. Like just
The last couple of years have been good, and I think it's because they're getting less political.
yeah.
Because
That hurt them.
they got pretty political, and I think that hurt a lot of people. Like Jimmy Fallon's down to like 200,000 views, while YouTubers are, dwarfing that. You know.
Yeah. Well, and the like one of the sketches that comes to mind, I love watching it around Christmas time, is the one where Jason Momoa is the elf on the shelf.
Oh
Have you seen
yeah.
that one? God damn, that is a funny sketch.
Actually, me and my daughter did love that one came out in 2016, 2017. Space Pants.
Yeah. Space Pants.
Everybody look at your pants.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's what he said, but
the alien abduction ones with Ryan Gosling and
Those are my favorite.
Kate McKinnon. They're so funny. Those are so
Kate
good.
McKinnon is so good.
you know who's actually funny in it? What's her name? The Wicked chick. You know what I'm talking about, singer?
Ariana Grande.
Ariana Grande. She's actually pretty funny when she hosts Saturday Night Live. Look at some of her stuff. She has this one where she there's a couple of them. But she has this one where she like sings about going to her friend's house and she loves being at her friend's house and all the furniture and everything's like singing to her and stuff like that. And then come to find out her friend's dad's an axe murderer. And they're like carrying him off and he's like, she hears them too. She hears them too. It's actually pretty wild.
Yeah, there was another one. There's one that always cracks me up every time I see it, and it was Bruce Willis one where he's there with the boys about to watch football and stuff, and his wife's like, "All right, you guys stay out of trouble," and she leaves, and then they turn and lock the door, and then they start going into this song, and it's called Boy Dance Party. They're just singing about how they're having a boy dance party, and they're just dancing in his apartment. It's just, I don't know why, but it's just something that cracks me up. Mostly because it's Bruce Willis and he's doing it with like a serious face and like singing the song.
I don't know the last time I watched Saturday Night Live.
I watch clips.
I
watch
sit and
clips,
watch
that's
it. Yeah. It's not something I'd sit and watch anymore.
But it's been out for 50 years, which is amazing.
Has it really been that long?
Yeah. It released the first episode was in 1974.
Mm-hmm.
1974.
A lot of those comedians came from Chicago, from Second City.
Second City.
Yeah, Second City used to be the big thing. Now they're getting a lot of them from YouTube and TikTok and stuff now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or they're starting to. I think, wasn't Andy Samberg like a YouTuber?
I don't know.
They got him off YouTube?
I don't think
I think he was just a
so.
comedian.
Yeah.
No, I remember because they talk about him in the documentary, and it was because somebody else that they hired knew him, and that's how they started doing casting. Was they were kind of like taking referrals from people.
Well, no, they found him from a website, The Lonely Island.
Was it?
Yeah, he was a YouTuber. I know this stuff. I drink
Well-
and I know things, except I'm sober, so I drink water.
You don't drink.
No.
Well, I know that they started, like, I noticed I watched one and it was like, do you guys remember that show, All That?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they took a whole bunch of people
Yeah,
from
it was a big
that.
HBO documentary on.
Yeah.
I think I missed that.
Oh, you're missing out on what's going on in the world.
Yeah.
It's something you definitely want to watch, Steph. I think you'd be highly interested in it.
It brought a lot to light about child actors and the shit they've gone through.
And a Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it was
maybe.
pretty weird, pretty wild. Poor Drake.
Oh,
What
yeah.
happened to Drake?
He got it bad.
Yeah.
Like the singer Drake?
No. The Drake and Josh.
Yeah.
Oh, I never saw that. That's after my time.
It is. I
See,
didn't watch it when I was 20.
I didn't know him from Drake and Josh. Like other people said that, but like what I knew him from was Superhero Movie.
Yeah. Yeah. he well. He had some weird stuff done to him, and then he started doing weird stuff.
He did get a little bit into the child porn.
Yeah.
Ooh. Well, I don't know if I want to necessarily go down that rabbit hole.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, it's interesting to watch. I mean, it's just definitely how
It's called Silent on the Set, I
yeah,
believe,
quiet on
or
set.
Quiet on the Set.
Yeah,
What's it on?
Max.
Max. Yeah,
You guys, I don't have these rich people channels.
just
I
ask
get it
Dad
free
for
with
his
my
password.
AT&T.
There was one other thing I wanted to.
Why don't you have AT&T?
Yeah, you're about to get AT&T. Mom
On my
told me.
phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get AT&T. I get it with my phone service.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, they're. Well, I don't think they have it anymore. I got it when they had the deal because AT&T owned HBO, but I think they
Hmm.
sold it. But because I kept the service, I was grandfathered in. So,
Hmm.
I, like every time I call them to like upgrade my service, I'm like, I'm not losing Max, am I?
Yeah. I have to switch my cable, I think, and my internet because they keep jacking my prices up. And I'm like, I don't even use this enough to make it worth it.
Thanks, Trump.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's
God.
been in 8 days, and it's all his fault.
Yep.
Yep. There was one other show that I wanted to mention that I've been watching. It's called Evil, and it's actually pretty
Yeah, I
good.
heard about that. I'm not. I have not taken the time to watch that, but I know what you're talking about. I
Yeah,
probably
so
won't, but
I didn't get drawn in by the first episode. Like I watched the first episode and I was like, yeah, it's okay. And then I didn't watch it for months, and then like lately I picked it back up and I was like, I'm gonna give this another try. And I watched episode 2. Now I'm like hooked on it because I love the way that they're doing it. So it's very different than other supernatural shows because where some of the with other supernatural shows where they're like it's very clearly a demon, there's possession, there's all this. This show kind of takes it in the form of like they're trying to debunk whether it's a possession or not, and they're bringing scientific explanations to like what's happening to these people. So it's like 95%, explainable, and then 5% there's like things they're seeing that like do not make sense. And there's someone tugging the strings who might be a demon. We don't know yet. I don't know yet, anyways. But the way that they do it, because they have a therapist, a tech guy, and then a priest, and the three of them are the ones who are investigating this, like everything. And like the tech guy is like coming up with the solutions of how these things are happening, and they're like kind of resolving the issues. But then, so it's got Michael Emerson in it, who I love in a lot of shows. Michael Emerson's kind of the bad guy in this one, so he's kind of pulling strings in different places and kind of working against them. But he's under the guise of being a therapist as well, or a psychologist. I don't know, one of the two. But anyways, he's sitting there. He's sitting there trying to get people to do bad things. There's an episode that this like kid gets like turned down at a coffee shop, right? And Michael Emerson goes to him and says, "Hey, why don't you come talk to me?" He's like, "That's just like messed up the way that happened." So the kid comes and talks to him, and the kid's like an incel, and he like basically plays on his emotions to make him like go to do a shooting, like a mass shooting at a church. But he never makes it to the church. I won't say why, but he never makes it to the church, and it's kind of funny how it happens. So
How long has this been out for?
they're on season 4. They're only doing 4 seasons. They're on the 4th and final season.
What would you compare it to?
It's tough to say because I don't really have anything to compare it to
Hmm.
because of the way that they're doing it. Because again, it's not like very clear black and white, there's monsters or anything like that. It's like, hey, there's a ghost, but is it really a ghost? Oh no, it's a projection because of this thing. Or
Scooby Doo.
yeah, I guess Scooby-Doo maybe a little bit.
Okay.
That's actually
No,
not a bad way to put it. Yeah.
I've heard good things about it. I just haven't taken the time to watch it, just
Yeah.
because it takes time to watch things. And
Is
I
this
got
also
so
on
much
Max?
One Piece.
No,
I
this
think
one's
it's
on
on
Netflix.
Netflix.
Yeah, it's on
Nope,
Netflix
don't
now.
have that either.
It was on Peacock, and I think that's why I had a hard time getting into it because it had the commercial breaks,
Do you just
and
watch
that takes me
Tubi?
out of it.
I have Hulu and Disney Plus and
Okay.
Plex. So like on Plex, I'm sure I have all this.
Probably.
Well, I think Plex and like Tubi have some like good stuff on there.
But yeah, Plex is really good. I just search stuff and
I mean, that's
usually
probably a
pops up.
smart way to go. I'm probably spending too much time on entertainment, but I also don't leave the house and don't work much.
That's healthy. Um,
It's great. I get on my recumbent bike and cycle for 500 calories and play Skyrim or The Last of Us 2, which I'm finally starting to finish. I'm almost done with that. So I can be ready for the second season when they, with the horrible casting and everything.
yeah.
I like the one girl who was cast for it. I like the actress.
No. It's
She was
terrible.
on-
It's a terrible casting.
She was on Last Man Standing. I like
No,
the
she
actress.
wasn't.
Yeah.
And The Last of Us too? In The Last of Us?
Yeah, in the new
She wasn't in
season.
Last Man Standing. She was in
In the new season.
she is cast in the new season.
Yeah.
She's in the new season of Last Man Standing?
No, in the new season of The Last of Us. In season 2.
There's too many lasts. It's getting confusing.
In season 2, the girl from Last Man Standing's in it?
Yeah, one of the daughters.
I don't think you're correct.
I am correct. I saw it
That's
because
plays
when I saw
Ellie?
the trailer. No,
Or
not
she
Ellie.
plays some. Okay, that's why I was confused. I thought you
No,
were
I'm
saying-
sorry. No, not Ellie. No, I'm sorry.
I was like, no, it's the girl from the one show.
No, it's Caitlin Dever. And she's playing Abby Anderson. Whoever that is.
Oh, I'm not gonna like her.
Yeah. Well, I know you have your thing. I haven't played part 1 of
Well,
The Last
season
of Us.
2 so it's good, but it has no business to be good because it's disappointing.
No.
I think I'm still on like episode 4.
But Last of Us, the first one, is my favorite game of all time.
Yeah. I know you've
It
talked
is-
very highly of it.
Bar none, I will sit here and beat it like I'm playing Aladdin on
Yes.
Sega. Which I will beat the Aladdin Sega without dying at all, and have done it. I see it in your eyes. You're trying to dispute me.
That one and
I'm just gonna let you
The
have
Lion-
this one.
Lion
One
King
of
was
the Lion King.
fantastic.
Those
Lion
games
King
have no
and
business
Aladdin-
being that hard.
They were good.
They are good.
They were
They're very
good
games.
games. Some of the best games ever.
Mhm.
It's
But they have no
crazy.
business being that difficult.
Oh, I watched. Okay, wait, hold on. I want to see where I want to go with this. Well, first I watched the P Diddy doc today, and I'd recommend watching it, but I also didn't learn anything I didn't know.
Yeah, but would people that don't know a lot and don't go down the rabbit holes of TikTok, would they learn something?
Yes.
Okay.
But also there was some video of P Diddy being a douchebag that I haven't seen before, like outright being a douchebag that I'd never even seen before. But not surprising, as a narcissist specialist, he is to a T a narcissist,
Really?
without a doubt.
Yeah. Well, of course he was.
Just listening to people talk about him, he is without a doubt a narcissist. And they keep trying to say like it's his childhood and blah blah, which I'm not disputing. But I would suggest watching it, especially. Well, I guess there's two. If whether you're a conspiracy theorist,
Theorist.
where it's like what I really think is he pissed somebody off and that's why he got caught. He was allowed to do what he did for a long time, and he got cocky.
But now it's all being covered up.
They actually addressed like him killing Tupac.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
What a wild ride.
Interesting. Yeah, that would be interesting. I mean, there's so many different like theories out there with Tupac and with that whole like scene, I guess, and everything that went down, but I could see that happening. But we'll never know because the fires burned everything down.
Um. Well, just watch the TikTok videos by Jaguar.
Okay, well, I don't have TikTok, so I
You might be able to
can't.
find it somewhere. The Jaguar pretty much tells everything. That
See,
chick tells you everything.
I
That's
don't.
why I know everything, because I sat here and listened to watched every one of her videos. She's got a ton of them. Oh, they took all those down because I haven't seen those for a while. I wonder if that was part of the deal. Because they had her and they had the one chick who said she was one of the traffic kids there.
Traffic kids.
Um, so P Diddy, uh, um, yes, Ken, Pizzagate is real. P Diddy
Yeah,
had
it's chiming in.
underground tunnels and trafficked children in the after party.
Oh.
And this girl was one of them.
Mm.
And she really goes wild on these videos. And then there's the white girl that he adopted that people have a lot of theories about, too.
I don't know anything about this, so.
No.
Yeah, who's the hold on, let me pull that up. Yeah, he has gonna adopt a daughter named Ava. And she's this white girl. And there's something about her in some of these videos with her. But she has been keeping silent. So there's a lot more, like you're saying, because it's been confirmed there are underground tunnels for celebrities in LA.
Mhm.
It's been confirmed, it's been videoed, and they call it like the underground highway, so you'll never see like a celebrity in traffic because
Mhm.
there's literally a tunnel from their house that gets them to the studio and
Yeah,
to the airport.
yeah.
Like some kind of wild James Bond type underground city.
Yeah, it's a whole underground, like, so this girl that said she was trafficked by P Diddy, she talks about underground. There is whole cities. Like there's a whole it's like playing Skyrim. There's a whole underground world
Damn.
that we have no knowledge about.
Is it? But it's probably not there now. It's probably gone now.
I'm sure it's there. I think there's tunnels all over the U.S.
Yeah, but the stuff that needed to be dispersed probably is
Oh,
gone.
yeah, evidence in that area. But like I said, I think really what happened was Diddy pissed somebody off. So they just got rid of linking him to BlackRock and all that.
Mm-hmm. Telling you, one of
Which,
these.
at the top, at the very top, you look at there's like levels of what company owns what company. Uh, I think it's like U.S. Bank is at the top.
They own everything.
Yeah.
There's like 7 conglomerates that own everything.
But like Jimmy Buffett's like at the top.
Yeah. Like which one was it? I think Coca-Cola is one of them, I think.
Oh yeah. I wonder what, Microsoft owns. I do not trust Bill Gates. They're in talks for him to buy TikTok. I'm like, well, you might as well just throw it out the window.
Yeah.
Damn. Amazon's got to be on there, right?
I don't hear much about that.
No.
There's something about what's his name? What's the Amazon dude? There's
Yeah, hold
something
on.
about him. I'm sure.
Nestle.
I think they're like Google, where they're creating their own empire. Like
Hmm.
you can do a lot of stuff on Amazon. They bug your home. They're listening to me talk right now on my Alexa, and they got video games. They have movies. They got they're a whole empire now.
Here
But
we go.
that's
I pulled it up. So Nestle, Johnson and Johnson, PepsiCo, Procter and Gamble, Unilever, Mars, Coca-Cola, Kraft Heinz, General Mills. They own like basically every
like all
major
the food.
company.
They like run
Not
all our
just
food.
not just food. They own like pretty much everything in the U.S.
Well, Johnson and
Uh,
Johnson is like really big into the big pharma.
Yeah.
So U.S. Bank is okay. I'm sorry. U.S. Bank is owned by Vanguard, BlackRock, State Street, and J.P. Morgan.
Yep.
Those are the guys at the top of like what is running our country.
Hmm.
They're running our country when the wrong people are in charge.
Hmm.
That's why I call it crony capitalism, because it's not government or capitalism. It is government and capitalism working hand in hand.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's
I'll
wild.
have to look. Yeah, I'll have to look into that a little bit more. I mean, you always send me down these like paths of like, check this out, and then I forget until the next week.
Well, I think the TikTok hole is closing, especially if Microsoft ends up buying it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I don't know what next is, because I'm not. YouTube's gotten better, but probably X is going to be what's left.
I listen to news on YouTube every morning on my way to work. It's so, and
It's
I'm
not going to tell you everything.
It's not, but so like I watch that to kind of keep up at least with current events and what's happening more than I'm trying to like get all the answers, like kind of like you do. But like I'll watch it like. So one thing that I realized is like those panel, like I enjoy watching Fox News here and there, but mostly just like for the interviews and what's going on. But like when you have their little panels together and stuff, that's all like the Fox News anchors. It's like watching the fucking View. Like
Oh yeah.
it's obnoxious, and I'm just like, these people are just annoying. But I feel that way with like CNN when they do that too. It's just like they're just back and forth, blah 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 blah. Like it's really annoying, and I hate it. I watch those like really. I want to see when like the president's talking, or Secretary of Defense, any of those people. Like I want to hear what they're saying. I know
Right.
that there's small truth to it, but I want to at least know what's going on.
That's why I don't generally watch news. I did watch some Fox News this morning because it was talking about policy and setting federal workers back to work and stuff like that, and I just wanted
Hmm.
to laugh at them. Um, because I used to be that federal worker. But like, yeah, I tend to like I'll go on like X or TikTok or whatever and see like, okay, this is what they're saying. Now let me go look at what's actually happening or what Trump actually said. And
Hmm.
that's
Hmm.
kind of how I kind of navigate it. Like, um, I think I just I feel like there's something happening and I want to know what the context is.
Yeah,
They give me good information, but they don't give me the whole story.
yeah. Well, that's so I'm watching more so like the live ones with like more Trump will talk, and so it's not like clips of him talking, like it's really just him throughout the thing. But
Yeah, I don't have the attention span to sit there and listen to Trump talk for an hour and a half, and he will.
well, I have a half hour in traffic to and from work, so I got enough time to listen to usually a video or two.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm not just listening to Trump. I'm listening to
No.
like everybody. I want to hear what Pete Buttigieg actually said. I want to see the video of what they actually said, and then look at what they do, and look at the context, and then look at the consequences of what they do. I analyze it all, and I feel like it's a drug. Uh, it is, especially when you're like me and you're working 2 to 3 days a week, and because you're on disability, um, you just you're playing video games and looking at conspiracy theories and it's really fun
Yeah.
and scary.
Well, you know what I like to listen to on my way to work? Spit Take.
The Spit Take podcast.
Yeah, that's where you're
Pretty
gonna get
good.
the most up to date information on
Yeah.
movies, video games, and sometimes news
Yeah.
and conspiracy theories.
Really,
We
whatever
might
we
be
want to talk about.
yeah.
I haven't listened to an episode in a long time.
Oh, good. Then some of those listens aren't just you.
No,
I
it's not.
actually don't listen to them for a while because I just want to like forget and like I hate my voice. So I'm like, we'll go back if there's something good. Like Dad was texting me last week about it, about our podcast, and I was like, honestly, I don't even know what we talked about.
Oh, I don't watch it because I already know what happens.
Yeah.
I was there.
I listen to it usually the day after, and just to make sure that like everything's good on there.
Speaking of video games, Oblivion remake.
Yeah.
I am. They're talking about Elder Scrolls 6. I know Steph's really intrigued by this. Um,
Yep,
but like
gonna get on my phone.
also, I'm very curious about what they're doing with the Oblivion remake.
Yeah.
They say it's a remaster, but I guess it's a real remake. And my thing is like, are they going to have like new stuff in it?
Yeah.
Like, I guess they're going to have like upgraded like stuff in it, uh, leveling and stuff like that. I guess that's what I'm more interested because really, Oblivion probably as a whole is probably better than Skyrim.
It
It's
is.
just that Skyrim looks and plays better.
It does.
But like Morrowind's probably better than all of them. But again, it's just so dated, it's hard to play.
Yeah. And yes, and I think that Oblivion was a better game story-wise than Skyrim. I was way more intrigued by the story. Plus, what's his name? Captain Picard voiced the king on there.
Jon Stewart?
King Uriel separate. Patrick Stewart.
Or Patrick Stewart, Jon Stewart, whatever.
Yeah, Patrick Stewart voiced King Uriel in there. But the story like drew me in a lot more, and it was essentially just taking on hell. So
Yeah.
I'm excited. I think the first time I ever played an Elder Scrolls game was at your house in college, because you had just gotten your Xbox 360 and you were playing Oblivion, and I like came over and was like watching you play for like an hour or two.
Burned a hole in it.
Yeah.
Now
great.
this hole is getting so big in Skyrim, it's not funny. It's like we need Elder Scrolls. It's been. When the Elder Scrolls 6 teaser came out? Guess what year? Without looking.
I thought it was like 2018
2018, when the Elder Scrolls 6.
was announced.
So
yeah.
it was like 6 years or like 5 or 6 years between Oblivion and Skyrim.
Yeah.
It's been Oblivion to Skyrim since the trailer came out.
Yeah. I know. And it's still not coming out till what, 2027 they said?
They don't know. They don't have a date.
Yeah. So
And I think they're letting out the Oblivion. First of all, they have this project. There's a Skyblivion project, which is these modders that are redoing Oblivion on the Skyrim engine, and that's supposed to be out like this year. So I think that's why they're like, "Oh, we're remaking Oblivion,"
yeah.
and that's supposed to be out by the end of this year too.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to play Oblivion again. I got it with
I
my
was thinking
Xbox
about
Game
it.
Pass.
I was thinking about it.
I one of my favorite stories about playing Oblivion was I had my Xbox in Afghanistan, and I was playing it one day on our MWR, and it was just like chilling, like playing on our little TV, just playing by myself, playing the game. My captain comes in, starts talking all this shit to me about it, like, oh, fucking Dungeons and Dragons, playing this game. Like, he didn't know what it was. And, and I'm picking up some fucking Nirnroot, and he's like, He's like, oh yeah, I got to get that Nern root. And he's like just making fun of me like the whole time standing behind me. And then like one night I go outside and I was like in bed. I came out, had a cigarette, and I go into the MWR and he's sitting there playing the fucking game.
It'll hook you.
It
It'll
does.
hook you. It's a second life. And plus you get to like make your character any way you want. It's like I could be like a spell sword where I'm shooting fire one hand and hitting with the sword, and then I'm just like leveling that up.
Yeah.
And then you're like, it is Dungeons and Dragons. You're like role playing.
100%. It's so good though.
Yeah. I got I have two characters going on right now. I got one character that's a werewolf, and all he does is he's got the two-handed weapon. He just goes in and he just fucks shit up, and he has the ring of what's its name, the cannibal, and so he still eats people when they're dead, and then he could turn into a werewolf, and then he could eat people. Then I got another Necronomicon that is a mage and a vampire.
Necromancer, you mean?
Sure.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm thinking of what was it called when you bang dead bodies?
Necrophiliac.
Yeah. Necrophiliac.
Yeah.
I got a necrophiliac.
Somehow in Skyrim, I always ended up as a vampire, even though I didn't want to.
He shoots lightning, but I pretend like it's cum, and he's shooting it.
It's like being a vampire in the game is like one of the best because you're like so overpowered, but you can only move around in the dark. Like
no,
you have
it's your weekend, but you can still move around in the light. You're just weaker.
Yeah. It's
but you want to play as a dark elf because vampires are weak to fire and dark elves are strong against fire. But I'm a high elf in this one. But you know, your character still levels up in it. So like you get your armor up, you get your so you can counteract any of the weaknesses with you know with enchanted, you know, clothing or jewelry.
Rings and stuff, yeah.
Yeah. Steph's like, your guys are gay as shit.
Fucking nerds. Literally don't know what you're talking about. I spaced out for a while though, so that was okay. Took like a little nap.
I bet you would start playing it and you'd be hooked. Guaranteed.
No, I cannot do video games. I get frustrated because I can't figure out the buttons.
It's not just a video game. There's something different about an Elder Scrolls game.
There is.
Okay, well, I tried to play that Harry Potter video game, and Steve was convinced I would love it because I love Harry Potter, and I was getting so frustrated because I couldn't figure out the, you know,
but you're like a real student though, and you're like learning lessons and stuff. You're like a real fucking call me a nerd, Harry Potter. What the fuck?
Yeah, right.
I love Harry Potter.
You know, who watches something called Harry Potter and calls me a fucking nerd, huh?
Like
95% of the world.
Like at least in our game, there's like certain decisions you can make and it has consequences.
Yeah, that's same. Like if you
I do have the Harry Potter game and it's pretty good actually.
It is really good and it is pretty cool and like the graphics are good.
You are actually at Hogwarts and they just approved mods to be on it.
Nice.
Oh really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Steve's like beat I think every house except for one right now. So he's like forgets which one. I think he's on Ravenclaw right now.
I haven't played it in a while, but you get to fly around on a fucking broom and shit. And so that's pretty sweet. So I just get on the broom and fly around. I don't really do anything. Like there's actually side quests and stuff you could do, but
yeah, he's like do the practice round. It's only like an hour. No, it's a lot longer than that when you don't know how to work a game controller, and you get frustrated. But
complicated.
It is complicated.
Yeah, my 3-year-old's trying right now, and she's struggling a little bit, but she's doing okay.
Speaking of which, I was gonna say something. A show that would be good for the children. What was it I was thinking about?
Was it the Diddy documentary?
No, don't have them. Well, I'd have them watch that. You want them to, you know, wake up, but let them know taxation is theft, all that jazz. But, never mind. I know the Dog Man movie's gonna come out soon, and Lana like read all those books, and we're gonna go watch that.
I saw a commercial for it, and I was kind of wondering what that was about. So may have to
It's
check
a
that
kids
out.
show. Like it
Yeah.
might be that might be a good one to bring the girls to.
Well,
Um,
I'm yeah, no, we're in a phase. I guess not a phase, but we watched. We got her to watch a tsunami documentary the other day on Disney Plus. It was about the tsunamis in 2004 down in like Sri Lanka.
mhm.
Interesting stuff. Four episodes. It was a lot more graphic than I thought it was going to be. And like, so my daughter's sitting there watching these, tsunamis and stuff, and like, then she sees like some guy who was talking about being with his mom. And she's like, where did his mommy go? And I'm like, and she got swept away by that wave. I'm like, shit. And they'll find her. She'll be okay.
She
Don't worry
went
about
swimming.
it.
Yeah, but
I-
she's like she's smarter than that. She knows what all that is.
So it's wild though, because I don't remember these tsunamis at all. I don't remember this ever happening.
I was deployed.
I was in high school,
2004.
2004.
Jesus, you're young.
I graduated in 2005.
Oh
But
my
it was like
God.
Christmas of 2004, so I was a senior in high school.
2005. Okay, that's when I went to Eastern. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was, I don't know. Like, I don't remember these tsunamis happening. I remember the 2011 tsunamis in Japan. I don't remember this one, though, in the Indian Ocean. And it was like an 8.9 magnitude earthquake that caused it. Don't remember this at all.
Yeah. Well,
But now I know all
mean,
about it.
yeah. Well, now you're
So does she.
educated.
Yeah. It's got some sad imagery in there, though. It's pretty sad. It's like 250,000 people died in that tsunami.
But you should let them watch the Sonic movies. Sonic 3, me and Lana went and seen that. She loves Shadow.
Yeah. I've only seen the first one. I haven't seen the second one.
Knuckles. Oh, so
Yeah.
good. The Sonic movies are cinema. Cinema.
The
Well,
re-
Ray and I do have a girls' day coming up, hopefully.
Play some Skyrim and watch some Sonic.
Yeah.
Whatever that little girl wants to do. It's up to her.
Be prepared to watch Paw Patrol all day.
Nope, we're not doing that.
Just Caillou.
No,
Okay.
we're not gonna be watching TV. We're gonna go do activities.
Is
I'm
Caillou
gonna take
still on? Do
Cup
people
skins.
actually still allow that on TV?
I don't know what that is.
I never saw that. I know you and Sam talked about it at one
Oh,
point.
it's
I don't
the
remember.
worst. Just watch some Caillou just to experience it. It's this little brat that just freaking whines all the time, and it used to be on like PBS. You turn on the PBS for the toddlers, and Daniel Tiger, Daniel Tiger's great.
I like Daniel Tiger. That was a good
Uh,
one.
Yeah, but Caillou makes you want to punch a baby. It makes you
Oh my.
want to murder somebody and eat a heart. Like that's
What?
yeah, it's like turns you into a zombie.
That's
It's
pretty
so
intense.
bad. Yeah. Holy shit. People also search for Little Bill, which is a Bill Cosby themed cartoon that was on in 1999.
Huh.
Oh, little did we know back then.
Yeah. Oh my.
I wonder who he pissed off to get in trouble too. These people, they don't just get in trouble. They all
No.
know. They all know, and it's like they piss somebody off, they're the scapegoat.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways,
Yeah.
anything else before we close it up? I gotta like work tomorrow and stuff.
Same, yeah.
I don't think so. I think we covered
Romance
everything.
movies coming up. It's almost that
Valentine's Day.
time.
I thought we talked about romance movies. Saltburn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess in a way that is a romantical movie. Maybe we'll find something a little bit lighthearted with less death and grave fucking.
I was watching before we got on. There's like a new robot movie, Subservience, and Megan Fox is the robot.
I wanted to see
And,
that. Was it any good?
Well, here's the thing. It's not bad, but I think it's been done to death. You know, Twilight Zone and shit.
Yeah.
But it's like Megan Fox seems kind of intelligent in it, and it's not that. It's not that she's not intelligent. It's just that you just know she's usually like the hot girl, you know, or Jennifer's Body. But
Great movie.
but the thing is, like, it's kind of weird seeing her as like a smart, even though she's the robot. But like Megan Fox is actually very intelligent in real life. Okay, so she's got a baby daddy that she's not talking to, and she hasn't had the baby yet. Machine Gun Kelly ruined everybody's life, but like she apparently like reads smart books and shit. Like she sits there and reads books on freaking just like
She's very smart.
real literature. Like shit that I would never even touch. I think a lot of these people really are intelligent, and that's why they got to where they are. I heard like BJ Novak and what's her name, Kelly, like
Mindy
they would
Kaling.
sit and talk. Yeah, like her and BJ would sit there and like talk smart shit about the economy and stuff like that. Like they
Yeah.
actually like even though they're all liberals and and liberals have went off the deep end. But we just lost a couple liberal followers, aka your dad. But, but like, it's like these people are like, you have to be. I think you'd have to be intelligent to kind of be a comedian,
Yeah.
or you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
comedians got to be some of the smartest people ever.
They are. They're very smart. And I mean, if you look at Monty Python, right? That those cast and writers, most of those guys have PhDs.
Right. Oh yeah, I think it was a real thing. Like, there were people like on the Office writer team that like there'd be people that came in from like sketch comedy and stuff, and like the Harvard people. Well, the people that came on sketch comedy would feel like they're lesser because
Yeah.
of the Harvard people, but like they all became friends and shit. But like,
Yeah.
there's that's the same thing with actors and stuff. They all go to like, there's some that just go into sketch comedy, and then there's some that actually go to like Juilliard or whatever.
You're right.
They ain't no EIU alums, I'll tell you that. John Malkovich couldn't even make it at EIU.
Oh, John Malkovich.
All right, well,
All right.
Cool.
We'll have more energy next week, I feel like.
Maybe
I'll
we'll
probably
see.
be the same. I mean,
Yeah,
we get on here late. You
still
you
gonna
understand?
be-
I get on here an hour ahead of you guys.
Yeah.
I mean, we could change that for me. I don't have kids or anything, so
I gotta
Well,
put the
this
kids
is
to bed.
Adam.
Yeah.
yeah, that's true.
So cool. Well,
All
thank
right.
you everybody for listening, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Please check us out on YouTube, Facebook, or anywhere you get your podcasts. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Level up, guys. And it sucks because like after this, I'm all jacked up and I can't sleep now.